Hi guys, I'm the Batch Lady and also known as Sam Mulholland. Welcome to the Batch Lady on YouTube. On this show I'm going to show you how to make batches of fast, simple, homemade, freezable meals that you can make just now, put in your freezer and take out whenever you need them. So when you come home from work or you've got a busy family life, you can simply defrost them and get them on the table as quick as possible, saving you a lot of time and hassle. And these are cheap as well. So what we're going to do on the Batch Lady today is I am going to show you how to make one of the easiest meals. It's a raw bag. Raw means we put all the ingredients into one of these bags, okay? So this is really simple, no cooking at all. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. This is what you want when you have had a hard day, like I have today, hence why I'm having a glass of wine. It's now 10:30 in the evening and I've had one of those mad days with children and I finally got them all to bed and decided I am going to finish this. I was determined to do this recipe today. Okay, so we are going to make Hasselback chicken. Hasselback means that it's cut like into all little sections, and the best way to do that is just run your knife through about 1 centimetre apart. Don't go all the way through, okay? And this is going to make the most delicious meal and it takes a couple of minutes. I've got some more chicken breast waiting, so I'll do double because I always cook 2 rather than just 1. Okay, so I've got 4 chicken breasts, there's 4 of us, and I've cut them all the way through. Now, this recipe actually originally came from Lewis Christensen from walkingonsunshine.com, and I've put the link below because I've used this recipe for years, and so contacted Walking on Sunshine says, could I use the recipe? And they said yes, and it is fab, okay? Children eat it, everybody eats it. Get your tomato and your mozzarella and just fill up the gaps. I tend to do, you can do it all in the same gap or you can do it in little bits. And you're just sticking them all in any places, okay? And this makes a full meal. I mean, we have this maybe with a bit of couscous on the side, maybe some Hasselback potatoes, which you do the exact same with potatoes, put some olive oil on and throw them in the oven like you would a roast potato, but if you do it with new potatoes, they take about 25 minutes, no time at all. So that is basically what it looks like. Now I'm using mozzarella. You can use pretty much anything you want, anything the kids like, anything you like. You can put pesto. I do one with pesto. If you look on my website, batchlady.com, there's a great one with pesto because it's one of our favourite things to eat. Now this one, I'm actually going to put some basil in a few as well. Let me just finish this off. We're missing some tomatoes here. And this is so good. Because it's been cut, it cooks like slightly quicker. Because you're not just cooking one big thick chicken breast. And also, all the flavours melt and the cheese is going to melt all through this. Now, I've got some cheddar out because you could actually, if you wanted, you could add little bits of cheddar in 1 or 2. Which I might just do in 1 or 2. Or you could just stick with the mozzarella. Now, how's that looking? I think I need another tomato here. Okay, so we've got it like this, okay? So it is almost complete and we are going to, let me just wash my hands. So just touch that. We're going to add some Italian seasoning just over the top of each one. Now, we're also going to add some basil. Now, the basil, I couldn't get any at the shop, so I want to show you one of my secret tips. Okay, hold on. We'll just go to the freezer and I will show you this. Now, if you can't get basil at the shops, what you want to do is, I had this basil, I had extra from a recipe I was doing and I wasn't going to use basil for anything else. Therefore, I froze it in the little leaves, as you can see. And it's not brilliant. When you defrost it, it defrosts in seconds. And when it defrosts, it starts to really wilt and it can go quite dark and look a bit black. But I'm going to put these straight into the freezer. So they're just sitting there, chilled chicken breasts, they can go straight into the freezer. So I am just going to fill up with my frozen basil. And then when it comes out of the freezer, this is just going to go directly into the oven anyway. So I'm doing this for the children, so I don't want masses of basil. We've already got the Italian seasoning. But if you see, people think that you can't freeze herbs. And actually you can, even like that, as long as you're putting them back in the freezer as quick as possible, then that will work. I'm going to move that to the side. I'm going to move this away. Now, we've been filming for only a few minutes and look, this is an amazing meal. It's really, really good. The kids love it. Everybody loves it. Get your piece of tin foil. Put each one of your chicken breasts on the tin foil. You're going to cook it in this tin foil as well, but you're also going to store it like this. So I'm going to put 4 chicken breasts, just like that, on my tin foil. I'm going to seal it quite tight so it all stays in the position that I want it to stay in. Okay, and I'm going to get my sealable freezer bag, which I can never say, especially with a glass of wine, and I am going to put that in. Now, fellow batchers, tell me, could there be anything easier than a meal like that? Put it in the freezer, it'll freeze like that, take it out, leave it to defrost overnight in the fridge. When you come in and you're wanting a quick meal, throw this in the oven, already still in the foil, and serve it with some couscous that takes 2 minutes, or you could serve some rice, or you could just serve it on its own with some tomato sauce over the top, which I occasionally do as well. It's brilliant. Hasselback, mozzarella, and tomato chicken. Give it a go. Please subscribe below and tell me, give me a thumbs up and tell me you like me, and I'll do more recipes.